What is up, all forms of social media? James, Joseph, Edward, Jesberger Jr., but please call me Jimmy for short. And today is a chillax kind of video. We are relaxing into it. We are chillaxing with it. This is a video where I played the game and I did not record my face and just went through and played it. So this is going to be another episode. If you don't enjoy them, then you can just skip through if you want to see certain parts. But this video for me is just kind of chillaxing and doing a talk back after. Not even going to use a camera today because even though I look fabulous and beautiful, I have to take my word on it. I just thought I'd record myself and give a little audio on top like some people do and just relax for this session today. Some things that I did in this video, if you want to skip ahead and around the video, is I found the Spring of Wisdom, which was the first thing. Then I opened up the mountain of, I opened up the mount of Lanayru Skyview Tower. I did all the shrines for that tower. I got a Korok seed, traded in my lights for hearts. I think I did 2 of them, and then opened Upland Zorana Skyview Tower, and I did 2 shrines from there, from the which were the Magawak and the John EU, I think is how you pronounce the 2 of them. But that's what's in today's session. Not to give too many spoilers, but I edited the video pretty cool. It's still an hour, still some time to get to watch, relax. If you like more podcasty, kind of like talky episodes, it's going to be one of those today. So sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy. Man, what to talk about, yeah, I just recorded that intro of my vocals and going straight into the video. Yeah, there's been a few sessions here and there where I've just debated, hey, I'm going to record the whole gameplay myself and then jump back in, and whether I want to record my face or not, just jump in with some audio. And today I felt a little bit more relaxed, chillaxed, lackadaisical. So I thought I'd just kind of do like an updatey kind of video. I get to talk for an hour now, which is everybody's favorite thing to do. No, I genuinely enjoy updating you guys and talking and stuff like that. Why don't I just kind of make some, random topics, and I can kind of go from there and see how people feel about some certain things, and let me know what you want to talk about, what you want to hear. I genuinely love doing YouTube and doing social media and stuff like that, so slowly getting back into everything, slowly finding myself and blah, blah, blah. It's been a rough couple. I mean, there's been a lot of good. There's been a lot of rough times lately, too. But everything happens. So we're living our lives. We're having fun moving forward. For those of you that wanted to know about the YouTube channel is just whatever the hell I want to do. If I want to record video games, if I want to play drums, if I want to do full band covers, if I want to sing, it's any of that stuff now. It's genuinely anything that I want to do and enjoy, and I don't give a fuck. I genuinely do not give a fuck what anybody cares about. I'm just going to post whether it's good or bad and just continually be myself. I do not fucking care. You can have your opinions. That's awesome. I don't care if I get all the hate in the world on my comments and in my videos. I really don't give a shit anymore. Like, it's been a good transition with a lot of that stuff, and I'm very happy that my mindset has gotten to that place of now I can just speak my mind, and it's not even just in social media land, it's also in my personal life. Like, I feel like I can definitely talk to people, not have to worry too much about like what people think, how they're thinking about me, and I haven't really had that throughout a lot of my life, especially in the last couple of years, but it's definitely something that you're always growing and learning from, and I definitely always want to be better about it, because not only do I want to be better for myself, but I want to be better for, the younger generations, the students, the kids, whoever may see this stuff. And not that I want kids cursing all the time like I do and stuff like that, but I want them to be able to be themselves and not have to worry as much and all that. The world's an interesting place where you go, oh, okay, let's talk about that instead of just flying off the handle. For a few things, you should go off your impulses, you should have fun, you should be able to be yourself, and just live, What's been going on with me? I have had a ton of auditions, and I can't necessarily talk about all of them, but I can talk about a few of them. Some of them I did not get, some of them I got, and I'm just waiting to hear on more details, and I will let you guys know if I can and when I can about certain things. Our D&D campaign for my tabletop friends has been going amazing. I am now fully DMing again, which is amazing. I love DMing, and I love being a player too, but I love getting to just genuinely DM too. And I think I'm at a point now, and I say this with love, I think I'm at a point now where I'm a forever DM. I think from now on I'm just going to be a forever DM, which is fine with me. I don't mind that as much. Because the joy in getting to story write and write my stories and get to make these modules, and I found my new awakening again of like, I DM'd for years before, and I've been a player longer than I've been a DM, obviously. Not for most people, but I luckily got to play a ton of games and then get to where I am now of being very confident with who I am and like running games and running things like that. And not to sound cocky, but I'm just confident about it. I know I'm a good DM. I know I spoil my players. I know I write good stuff. I know I write good modules and everything, and I know I write my campaign very well. And my session notes are very organized. I do voices sometimes. I bring in sound effects. I play music. I do a whole bunch of stuff. We use the TV for our D&D games and our Pathfinder games, and I'm just very proud. I'm very proud of myself. Not only myself, but I'm proud of my players too. My players have been doing an amazing job getting to RP, getting to be themselves, getting to play these crazy outlandish characters half the time. And I'm now going to have 7 people, not including me, like plus GM would be 8, but I'm going to have now a Critical Role size table and party for every single Saturday. Well, every single time we play D&D, which is probably going to turn into a weekly thing soon. It's every bi-weekly here and there, but I would love for it to be like our weekly games, and we can, progress the story ever forward. And for them, not to make it all about D&D, don't worry, I will switch topics in a second, but level 20 for them, I would love to do, and then I'd love to do an epic campaign with them for a little bit if they want to bring those characters back to light and to decide what they'd like to do in the future. You never know with D&D campaigns or with tabletop campaigns what somebody might do with their characters and their stories and their arcs, but it's been a pleasure. It's been amazing. If any of them get to listen to this or hear me out or anything like that, love you guys, and hopefully we have more years to come with this game, because level 20 is not going to be that quick, I promise. It's going to be a long arc and storyline, but I hope we get to have it together. With some of the bad times, it's just there have been some jobs and some auditions that unfortunately I have not gotten or accepted, or got the call to say like, hey Jimmy, we want you for this, which is fine. Things happen. I know that. I'm not always going to be yes, but at the end of 2022, I can officially say now, at the end of 2022 into 2023, I was accepting job offers left and right. I was doing everything. I was like music directing every show I got. I was, getting every performer job that I was going for, every audition I was acing. And now I'm at a point where it's like, okay, now my auditions have been amazing, by the way, or my interviews have been great, or my resume building and stuff like that has been amazing. It's just that I'm not fit for the part, or I'm not, what they're looking for, or maybe it's my long hair or my tattoos, but it's something that I know that I'm good enough. I know my worth, and I just did not get it, which is completely fine. There are so many roles out there, and I have students, or I have friends or coworkers that I talk to about this stuff all the time. It doesn't matter sometimes if you had the best audition, or if you were a great person to work with in that moment. It's what they're looking for and what they need. And I luckily and fortunately have been in the room where I've been the music director or the director or the actor on the side or something like that, where I see somebody's audition or I hear somebody's audition and I go, man, that person would be great to work with. And then they don't get the job because of, it could be stereotypical, or it could be height, or it could be, a whole bunch of different factors for whatever it may be. And the thing I always lead with is, you want to go into, there's 2 things you really want to do in an audition. And I had audition techniques as a class when I went to when I went to Arcadia University for my BFA in acting and minor in music, so I know what I'm talking about when I go into this stuff. I've learned a lot over the years. Trust me, I've learned so much, and I've grown a lot over the years. The two things you really want in auditions are you want to be able to go in and you want to be able to be prepared. You want to, if you're going for a musical audition, know if your music's in the right key. Know if you like bring a black binder, like have your music prepared really well, have the cuts marked out and stuff like that. If you're going in for a like drama or comedy or something you need a monologue for, go in and know that monologue like the back of your hand. Do different iterations. Be ready for the director to tell you to do it like 10 different ways or some way you've never thought before. And the second part is for every audition or even an interview. I think this for anything in life, genuinely. It's not just for acting or musical theater or the arts, but the second part is you should go into an interview or an audition and you should be like a good and fun person to work with. There's nothing worse than having an audition and somebody's, I mean, we understand and we empathize and sympathize, but when somebody comes in and they're very, very nervous or quiet or, you know, they're kind of off-putting or they're mean to us, it doesn't, even if you have the best audition in the world, it doesn't make me want to work with you. It's like, okay, this person has this kind of feeling towards whatever. Now I'm going to have them in a rehearsal room with this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to deal with this. And luckily for every audition I've had and every interview I've had for certain things here and there, as I continue to do, you know, my social media and the performing arts and my jobs and everything that I do, so much stuff always going on. I've been very fortunate that I've had very good auditions, and I've been a very good person to work with. I feel like in most audition rooms, you're on time, you're prepared. Like, being prepared and on time or being early is the same as being prepared. So I put that in the label of together whenever people ask me about, like, what's the most important thing when you go out to an audition? It's like, also just be ready to have fun. Like, go in there, be ready to know your stuff so well that you can joke around, that you can do your monologue, that you can have fun with whatever you're doing in that moment. Let's get into video games, I guess. Tears of the Kingdom is taking longer than I thought just because of personal life and playing and stuff like that and everything that's been going on. It will and has to become more of a priority for me, and I know that already, and I want to at least every day play at least 3 hours of a game, whether it's Tears of the Kingdom, Baldur's Gate 3. If you notice on my channel, I've played the demo of Baldur's Gate 3, the demo version, but I haven't played the updated, like, new version where everything's, like, nice and easy and blah, blah, blah. I had a ton of issues the first couple times I played that game, and now I want to go back and actually play it and, like, either live stream it or live stream Tears of the Kingdom. And I think I'm coming back to do, like, drum live streams. I would love to just jump on, have fun, not have to worry about stuff, not caring as much. I felt like before, when I was live streaming and putting out those reaction videos, it felt like I was caring way too much about what people thought, and I had to, like, be a certain type of way. And here's the funny, kind of sad, kind of, like, confident thing about the whole social media realm. I want to be myself. And in the long run, I don't care what people think. I did the reaction stuff, and this is the blunt, honest truth. I did the reaction stuff, and it just wasn't me. This could be a whole nother video in itself, but the reaction content was not me. I thought it was something that I could do. I mean, could I do it? Did I enjoy it? Did I want to do it? Sure. Was the content that I was reacting to exactly what I wanted to do all the time? It was making the best effort for me moving forward and being myself? Not necessarily. There were definitely some things, like, I know now as myself, I like getting to talk. And there were so many times where people, for reactions or for music or for different things that I was reacting to, it just felt like people wanted you to play the video and just shut up. And that's not me. I could go back and make a whole reaction channel as soon as I feel confident in my own stuff being put out there, but for a while it felt like, oh fuck man, I'm literally just like a DJ. I mean, not that there's anything against DJs. I love DJs. I love when DJs personally are musicians too, and they're not just hitting buttons. They actually like play or sing or do something while their sets are going on. But it felt like I was just like the jukebox playing the next song. And here's the blunt honest truth, I didn't enjoy most of those songs. Maybe not most. Most is a strong, and hate's a strong word. But there were definitely a lot of days where I would wake up and go to live stream or go to do these reactions. And I was like, man, this isn't stuff that I want to react to. This isn't stuff that I'm really feeling today. And don't get me wrong. It is still truth. I still enjoy listening to any form of music. If it's got a good beat, if it's got a good message or a good melody, I still enjoy music no matter what it is. But there were just some days that it was the same band or the same artist every single day, or it was the same melody or the same music, and it just got to be so much, and then people wanted things that I wasn't necessarily jiving with or I didn't know the culture of, and I'll be blunt honest, it genuinely felt like I was just a spokesperson for whatever country was the loudest or yelling the most at me, and that doesn't make me feel good. That doesn't make me feel like, oh, well, I'm making a difference. It's just, hey, white guy, shut the fuck up, listen to the music, and like promote our music, which is fine. I understand that, I understand that cultures and traditions and stuff, America is very big on, just overtaking pop culture and, today's hits and stuff like that. And I know people want their countries and their traditions and stuff to be put out there and to be enjoyed and stuff. But when I know nothing about it and I'm coming in and just being the yes man for most of it, it was not fun for me. It was like, okay, cool. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. Getting back into my fitness, I mean, not that I was away from my fitness. I mean, I kind of was here and there, but going back into talking about my fitness, for those who care, I got back officially into running again. There was a stint for a little bit where I was in a relationship, and then, not to make excuses, it was myself personally, doing this stuff too. It takes two to tango, but I stopped eating right. I stopped running and X, Y, and Z. And that was like an interesting, difficult kind of time for me. And I needed to find more of myself again, which is fine. For any of those people who've gone like, Jimmy, where the hell have you been? And now all you're doing is posting like you're posting Tears of the Kingdom like here randomly on YouTube. It's just because I'm trying to find my balance. I'm trying to find what Jimmy can do versus, when I'm working all these other positions and performance artist jobs and stuff like that. Like, trust me, you guys think like, oh, Jimmy's just at home and all he has to do is record videos or like post things. It's like, nah, when I'm not posting videos, I'm like working on other stuff, or I'm working on a show, or I'm working on like a mascotting thing or a team production or a company or something. Like, I'm doing other things, obviously. And it will turn into, like, I promise this, because I'm going to be fucking 30 this year on November 21st. I was born in 1993. I am making not only my performance art has already been my full-time, like, my professional work has already been my job, but I am wanting social media to be the full-time with it. Like, everything that I do, I want social media to also be, okay, on this day I post this video, and on this day I stream, or I have fun, or I post random content and have fun with it. But the time that I took off was also me trying to figure out, like, okay, well, what does Jimmy also want to do? Because since 2007, 2006, I've been watching YouTube. And I know some people go like, oh, well, YouTube wasn't really the thing. Trust me, I was watching YouTube back then, and I've been watching every single person. And I started making content in like 2007, 2008. And I wish I would have kept it up. I got like bullied and embarrassed a bunch of different times. Like, all since 2007 to now, I've been bullied. And it's like, it's not fair, man. It's not like I could have been one of the top YouTubers just from posting from the beginning type of shit. You know, that's like, people just being on YouTube was like a different thing. And I was posting like vloggy stuff and drum content and all that types of stuff. That's how I started. I was mostly drums back then. Now I feel like I'm not much of a musician. I'm more of like a singer and a performer than anything else. But like, it was in the beginning, trust me. And I just got ridiculed and bullied and embarrassed. And now I'm past, like, you know, I still feel certain types of ways about different things, but I'm very past the point of like, okay, now I'm going to just be for my fucking self. Who the fuck cares? You can't tell me what to do. And that's why I said earlier about the whole, like, comments on my videos could be like, Jimmy, where the hell did you go? Or why don't you do this content anymore? I will eventually be doing, I'm not going to lie, I will eventually do some reacting content here and there, but it's not going to be like it was before. It's not going to be, okay, now every week or every day is going to be like a music type of video. It's going to be whatever I want, and I want to be able to talk and discuss the videos. Even reactions, like Charles for music, like even Charles Cornell, when he does a music react video, he actually sits with the video and like it takes like a week or plus of like recording, getting it down. I mean, I don't know how long it takes, but it feels like it takes at least a week to get some of his video ideas down. And he like sits with the piano and he figures out the key and the rhythm structure, and he looks at the lyrics and all types of stuff. And it felt like I was one of those genuine react channels that just sat fucking down and said, ooh, this is great. Oh, this is cool. That's not what I want to fucking do. I want to sit there. I want to actually, like, be my musician type self or my performance artist type self and talk about all these different things and structurally why they are the way they are, or, like, in a impulsy type of way of, like, oh, this performer did an amazing job, or how they did. Because I've noticed the thing that I really enjoy doing the most is talking. I really, and not to sound cocky, but it's just me being confident, I feel like I do a pretty good job, even though I have some of my ums and my likes and stuff like that. But when I'm just talking and I'm speaking my mind, I feel like I'm very on the ball. I feel like I can speak for myself. I can, you know, I just need to be more aggressive sometimes here and there. That's still a fault to me. I'm still too nice. I'm still too whatever. But I'm working on that as much as I can throughout these years. And also, I'm trying to be easier on myself. I'm really, really trying to be easier on myself. Speaking of being easier on myself, getting back to the weight loss and to the running thing, yeah, this is kind of like a monumental thing to say, but I ran my first half marathon. Not for a, like, a race or like for a marathon. I just did it outside by myself. Like one day I randomly went, on a Monday, I randomly went, oh, let me just run a half marathon, which is 13.1 miles. I had no idea I was about to do it that day. I had an inkling the day before on Sunday. I was like, oh, I wonder what I want to do tomorrow. Tomorrow I kind of want to run, like, I've ran 10 miles before, but I kind of want to run more than 10 miles. And I've never ran more than 10 miles in one sitting or one day. Like I've done 10 miles on the treadmill, like, completely at one point. And I've also done running outside where I ran like 6 in the morning and then another 3 at night, or like I ran 7 or 9 in the morning and then I didn't run for the rest of the day. But this half marathon, it's all over my Instagram and my Facebook and stuff like that. But I was very fucking proud. I was like, dude, this is something that I haven't worked on being able to run a half marathon. I didn't work on my, like, you know, I've been working on my dexterity and my running since I've started being a runner, but I didn't know that I still had all that within me. And even today, after, that was like, what, last Monday I did that. Not this Monday for this week, but the Monday before this Monday. And then today, back when I was super athletic and I was my skinniest, I ran at it at 8 miles per hour. I ran on an 8 on the treadmill for 6, 7, 8 miles straight without stopping. And today, I've been, for the last couple of weeks since I've been, you know, back on my running, and I've been in it for a while now. It feels like at least now like a half a year to more than at least 6 months to half a year. I mean, around 6 months I've been running again now and being good about it and like eating pretty healthily. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I've been eating some fast food here. Well, not even fast. I mean, it is fast food, but like not the like I'm not going out to McDonald's or Dairy Queen or, you know, whatever, and picking up food. It's like when friends order out like Domino's, I'll like have a few slices of pizza here and there, and I'm just being gentler with myself, you know. But I do promise myself to get to where I need to be and what I want to be, and I can accomplish anything. You can genuinely accomplish anything you set your mind to. And I set my mind. I know my athleticism. I was nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little nervous to run that half marathon without any real prep. But I noticed that my running journey this whole time has been that prep. Is like that prep to do that. Any day, you could ask me any day, even right now, even after I ran what I did today, or any day, if I were to run 6 miles a day, and then you asked me to run another 6 miles at night, I'd still be able to do it. Like, I know that my athleticism is good enough. I know I'm strong enough. I know I'm a healthy individual physically. I'm still working on the emotional and the mental side, which is always, you know, you're always working on everything. But as I said, even today, I ran at an 8 speed again. Like, I used to do that all the time. I used to run like almost every day at an 8 speed for like 6 to 8 miles on my long run days. And that's fucking difficult. And today I went, okay, I'm going to try and run 6 miles at an 8. And my body was just like, yo, dude, you could do 6 miles today. Like, you could definitely do it, but you might hurt more than usual. And I went, I'm going to be careful with myself. This is my first time back doing an 8, and I still did 4 miles straight without a pause. I was like, so that means that my body can do, like, and afterwards I was like, oh, I actually feel kind of good. Like, my body actually feels better than I thought it was. So I know I can run 6 miles again, or 7 at an 8, and it's going to hurt. It's going to be harder because I haven't done it in like a couple years now at an 8. But I know now that my body's fine and prepped and ready to go. There was a time period, so I do like a running and a sprint program, and I'm not going to say exactly what it is because I don't want anybody being like, well, I followed your running sprint program and I didn't get X, Y, and Z, because you're not going to do it the way that I do it. Me and my friend Sam have made it, and we've made it better over the years, and now it's accustomed to me. But where was I going with that? Oh, there was a time period where I was jumping back into my running like a couple months ago to like 6 months ago or whatever. And it hurt to like sprinting. I could run it. I could sprint for like a 0.4 of a mile at a 10 speed and not blink an eye. Like, it was so easy. Like, and that's for my sprints. It's not for the whole time. But like, you know, I probably could have this time again, or back then definitely. Now I would need to work up to it. But there were definitely days where I could go like, oh, I could probably run a mile at a 10. Like, if I really pushed it and tried the hardest I could run for the day. I still don't know what my fastest mile is. I want to try that again. There was a day a couple years ago when I was really athletic and I was around 160s. I ran my fastest mile, and I think I ran like a 6:30 mile, which was pretty good at the time. And I still lost another like 15 to 10 pounds after that. So I was probably prepped and ready to go. Now my body feels amazing because it's like, okay, we know you can run long distance, and we know you can run super fast. So my body, I'm very, very happy with today and with 2 Mondays ago now that I know now I can run a half marathon, and I know now that I can sprint again and not have to really worry about it. And now it shows me, oh, maybe I can be pushing myself a little bit harder, because this whole time I've been scared. Like, my back was hurting when I first got back into quote unquote running again, where I was like sprinting and like my back, and you know, I'd have like a mascot day and I would come back after mascotting. And that's another thing too. People go, oh my God, Jimmy, you're crazy, because they know how crazy I am with mascotting, and then I'll come home and like run 6 miles or, you know, whatever. Or I'll run in the morning and then mascot at night for different events. And it's so interesting to know that like my body's fine. Like, if you told me, okay, go mascot and you're gonna die afterwards, like after 2 hours of mascotting, and I'm not gonna get into the specifics of that unless people ask, but like, do that for 2 hours, then come home, and then, hey, you still need to run 6 miles. I'd be like, okay, cool. Even after, this is how crazy athletic I feel like I am again, is even after I ran the half marathon, I had people go, oh my God, you must have been so tired. You must have been so hungry. You must have needed to sit. You must have had like aches and sores. My body was so prepped unknowingly for that half marathon that I went home I showered, I sat, I ate food. Yeah, I was sore, but after like 20 minutes of sitting, I like got up and I went, oh my God, I could run like 6 miles right now if I really wanted to. It's crazy how your body's so much more than you think you can do, and you can do so much more than you think you can do. And now, not that I'm gonna push every day to run. I was actually gonna debate. I was debating doing 13 miles or a half marathon today. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow or something. But I kind of missed my sprint program. I kind of missed running at an 8 speed, and now it's like, okay, am I prepping my body now to be more of a sprinter or a distance runner? Because the sprinting, I think, made me like skinnier, and I think the long distance is giving me more of like a healthy longevity. Who knows? Who knows? The battle against the weight, I'm not gonna lie, has been difficult because, as I said, when people, I don't know why, I guess I kind of just went like, oh well, I'm not losing any weight, and I've been trying for like the last couple months, and by now I would lose weight with the things I was doing before, and that just means I know I'm a smart human being. I know I basically am a personal trainer. Like, it's just calorie deficit. I'm not expending as much calories as needed, or I'm not eating as little as I should to lose the weight. I know that. Or my body is just at a point where it goes, yo, dude. Like, another thing that a lot of people don't realize about me is I went in for my DEXA scan, and your DEXA scan's never going to be 100% like, yeah, this is exactly how your body is. But I went in for my DEXA scan at 150-ish, like 146 at my lowest. And you're telling me that at 150, 146, I was at like 12 to 13% body fat, which is amazing. I was like, oh my God, I'm so proud of myself. I wish I would have been 12, because I went in going like, oh man, I want to be like 12% body fat or lower. And I went in and I was like 13. I was like, I was crying. I was happy crying though. I was like, even when I go in, I'm still 1% higher than I should have been. It's like, but no, even with that, I did talk to my DEXA scan, I forget what they're called, but like my helper, and I did talk to my doctor before I went into the DEXA scan because I had to get a physical before then, and both of them said like, your loose skin might be like anywhere from like 2 pounds to 5 to 8 pounds. You don't even know how much is on you right now. I think it's genuinely like 5 pounds. So no matter what, I think when I was like at 150, I think I was like 140s. Which I was already at 140s anyway. I got down to my lowest at 146. But I don't know what the difference is with my running, at least. I mean, I know I'm not sprinting as much as I usually do right now. Now I'm more like trying to be like low, steady cardio. I'm not doing a ton of HIIT and stuff. But it's been fun. It's been fun getting to mess around and to play with. Now I know, I mean, I'm not the fastest half marathon person. That's another thing. I had people go, oh, what was your time? How fast did you run? When half these people aren't even runners. And I said, like, hey, it took me about 2 hours to run 13 miles. And I had one dude who's a close friend. I'm not going to dox him, don't worry. But who was, like, kind of being like, I said, oh, yeah, the other day I ran a half marathon for the first time. And I randomly said I was going to do it. I wasn't prepping or anything. I didn't, whatever. And he said, oh, how long did it take you? About an hour? And I said, the Olympic or, like, the World Guinness World Record people, the greatest athletes in the world are an hour. Like, at 58 minutes, that's a world record, I believe, to run a half marathon in under an hour. Yes, did I run most? I ran, and I'm actually proud of myself too. I ran most of my half marathon at like 9:30, like at a 9:30. I ran it at like a 9-minute 30-second intervals for the most part, like 9:30 to 9:50. And then my last like 3 or 4 miles, I ran at like a 10-minute to like a 10-minute 10-second. So I really didn't lose. And I know to some people it's going to be like, oh my God, you basically lost a minute. It's like, not really. Like, I knew going into the half marathon I wasn't going to bust the gates out, because when I'm running my fastest mile outside, but I'm not trying, like if I were to try and really go for it, I'd be running as fast as I run on the treadmill. Like, I'd be running like an 8 speed or like a 7.5 or a 7, and at an 8 speed that's like a 7:30 minute mile, and I don't want to do that outside because I don't want to push myself too hard yet. When I do more like engagement and sprint training and stuff like that, I will definitely go like, yo, fuck, I want to like run the whole time and run as fast as I can. But when I run outside, for a while I was running like 8:30 minute miles. I was running like 9-minute miles, like 9:30. If I'm really relaxed, I could run an easy 10-minute mile and not give a fuck. Like, I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. But for me to start my run at like a 9:30 mile and then only drop down to like a 10:10 after 13 miles is crazy. And I was halfway, I mean not halfway, but I was like at the 15k point at like the 9.3 mile, and I was, and around there to like the 12 mile, I was, as soon as I got to the like 11 level as soon as I got to the 11 mile part, I went, no, I'm running 13 miles. But at the 9 to 10, I went like, oh, maybe I should stop at like 10 miles, maybe I should stop at 12 miles. And as soon as I got to 11, I was like, no, I'm on my fucking high. I'm kind of slow right now comparatively to when I started, but I still want to finish this, and I want to make it like a good fucking race. It also shows me that if I were to run a 5K, which I did with a friend recently, but that was more of like her 5K, and she knows that. Like I said, hey, I'm not doing it for time. I'm doing it for you. I want it to be like an us experience. I want to have fun with it. And she's been getting more into running and stuff like that. But I told myself now, like, when I run on the treadmill, I can easily run a 10K at my fastest ever without trying is an 8 speed, which is like a 7:30 mile for 10K or a 6.2. Now I'm even debating like, oh, if I run a 5K again, I wonder if I could do like a 6:30 mile if I really push. Now here's the difference though. I know this is going to get very into running. I love how this turned into like a running podcast, but hopefully you guys enjoy this. The thing though is, people all the time, and for a while I was like that way. Now I've gotten like the cockiness out of me. For a while I'd be like, oh, well, on the treadmill I can run like a 6:30 minute mile or a 7:30 minute mile, blah blah blah. And that's cool and everything on the treadmill, but it only really matters when you run outside what your outside speed is. Like, if you are going for a marathon or a half marathon or a 10K or a 5K or any type of race, as soon as you don't have the tread to pull you and to do what you need to do, it fucking sucks for a little bit, because I was so used to the treadmill, and then I started running outside and I was like, oh, this is easier on my joints, this is easier to run, I feel like it's a little bit easier to do things, but you don't have the tread to pull you. It's just you on top of earth and you're pulling yourself the whole time. So when you easily go, I can run, you know, when you're inside in the air conditioning on a treadmill running like whatever, a 6:30 to a 7:30 mile, now try it outside with the heat and, you know, like the air to deal with outside. It's completely different. And I've had, I like, I'm not one of those people who goes like, I'm completely treadmill or I'm completely outside. I love them for different reasons. I love that I can run outside and I can have new stimulus and not have to worry about listening to a podcast like the whole time or to watch a video. When I'm on the treadmill, though, it does suck going, oh, fuck, I need, like, a video to watch, or I need a really stimulating podcast, like, and I feel like now I'm at a point where, this is very true, I didn't listen, I mean, not that I didn't listen to people, but when I was first running, I ran with music. I just wanted to, like, let go and to be super quick and to just be whatever, blah, blah, blah. And even though I wasn't, I was super overweight when I first started running, and I only ran like 5 minutes in the beginning, which is good. I think people should do that. You know, start with where you can, and I have a whole theory and program and stuff like that for people who want to do that. Not starting with fucking 6+ miles. I had one dude who genuinely was like, dude, what's your running program? I want to lose weight. I was like, well, first of all, it was my diet. That's the 90% of it. And I asked him genuinely, like, why do you want my running program? He's like, oh, I want to lose weight. And I said, okay, yeah, that will help if you can run like 6 miles. Are you a runner? And he was like, no, like, I'm going to get into it. I said, my running program is not made for somebody who's not a runner. It's made for somebody who's, now my running program's like, okay, it's made for me, or it's made for somebody who's been running long enough that they could be, okay, well, now I'm going to run, like, I tell people who genuinely really want my running program, I go, okay, listen, my beginning of my running journey started with me running 5 minutes, and I could barely do that at like a 5 speed. I'm not even joking. Like, I was really bad in the beginning. And I know people are worse than me when they start, or they're better than me when they start. I don't really care. It's your journey. You do what you need to do. But I would run 5 minutes, and then I would walk for 15 to 20 afterwards, and that's like the 5-15 method, which I think everybody should do if they want to start running. And then eventually it turned into, you know, running longer, and then taking over the running with the walking, and then I walked more because I was running more, and then it turned into, oh, well, I can run like a mile now without stopping. Oh, I can run 2 miles. Oh, I can run 3 miles, and then, oh, I can run 6 miles without stopping. And that's when it hit me, oh, I need something to change to get better at this, because I don't want to now turn into it being, which it did kind of in a way, but which is ironic. It turned into 7 miles, into 8 miles, but I wanted other things to like gear myself. And I asked one of my good friends, Sam, hey, I want a running program that is not just distance. Like, I feel like I've gotten up to a distance point now. I feel like my endurance has been getting really good. Can we have something that makes it hard for me, like a HIIT program almost? And now I have a running sprint program where most of the days I'm sprinting, but there are a few days where I run long distance and I test myself, and it's like it's a nice give and take of, okay, you're gonna push your heart and your body as hard as you can, and then there are some days where you can kind of relax. And there are definitely days now where I'm getting more back into my sprint program, which means I enjoy being on the treadmill more for that when I'm sprinting, because I don't want to like keep looking at my phone when I'm outside, and I could do that, but it would be really annoying. And I like that the treadmill can give me an exact speed, so I don't have to worry about like, okay, now I have to exactly run at a 10, you know, because that's what I do on the treadmill. There are some days though where I go, hey, I feel like running outside. It's a really nice day out, or it's really hot. I want to go outside and run. Like it makes me feel good. And it's even, I don't want to say exactly where I'm from, but there is a group of kids every time I run outside, and they've been there for like every day of the summer. It's been amazing. And there was a week where I decided to run outside every day, so they saw me. Now they probably know that I don't run outside every single day, but they were my cheerleaders. They were my people who kept me going. There was one day I started running outside again, and I was running like 6 miles at the time. And I was like, oh fuck. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm gonna have to like run outside and make myself better, and it's gonna be horrible this whole time. And right after the first mile, I had a little girl from this area yell hi, and I was like, oh. I didn't answer back. I just waved back, and I kept running. And then every time I ran around this area, there was a group of kids that came over and waved to me. And now I think they've gotten to the point where, like, yeah, there were some days I couldn't run outside, and there were some days that, like, I couldn't do it at that exact time. So they definitely realized, like, oh, he's not always here every single day. But when I'm there and they're there, they have been saying hi, and I genuinely that means so much to me. I also posted a TikTok about this, but the long story short is of what I said for the TikTok was, thank you to not only the kids but to the parents that taught their kids to like cheer on people, and they, not necessarily cheering me on, but they're saying hi and being nice, and like the highs maybe to them were a joke at first, and it was like, oh, they are just saying hi because they see a runner with a bunch of tattoos and a hand tattoo and blah blah blah. But it genuinely turned into, after posting that video, of, oh, this is motivation for me now. This shows not only for me that the kids are, you know, being there for me and showing that you can do it, and to give me more of like a voice and a happiness to keep going, but and it gives me to the kids like, hey, exercise is meant to be fun. Exercise is meant to be there for you. Like, you can be a runner or you can have fun at wherever you're at and enjoy it. Like, it doesn't have to be a chore. And every time I pass by them when I'm running, I always make sure to be, you know, smiling and happy. There are a few times that I went around and I was like, oh, fuck, I'm not feeling it today. But, you know, whenever I see them, I'm super happy and smiling. And they see me run around a lot. So they know how hard I work. Or they know at least that I go around a lot. Man, so many different topics in like a 50-minute stint, I think, at this point. This video, if you haven't noticed already, is about an hour and 5 minutes, and I'm gonna try and make it to like the hour 2-minute mark, the hour 3-minute mark of talking, and just go from there. The biggest thing is, if people made it to this part of the video, I would love to know. In the comments, let me know what things you actually want to see me do for YouTube and for streaming and stuff. I know there are definitely going to be some people who go, oh, Jimmy, we want you to react to this. And yeah, eventually I'll get back to it. I just got super burned out, dude. It's not really necessarily my main thing that I want to do anyway. But it's something that I enjoyed here and there, and I loved giving my actual analysis of things. And now I'm going to be more on top of it and more of a, in a good way to me. I'm going to be more of a dick to people when they go, yo, shut up and just play the music, or like, why does he talk so much? Now it's going to be more of me like, hey, motherfucker, this is my channel. I get to do what I want. I will hear opinions and gladly take your opinions here and there, but this is for me, and I'm going to do whatever the hell I want, which I'm mostly for most of my life anyway like that. I don't care too much about what people think now. I mean, if I cared what people think, I wouldn't be going into theater audition rooms where, you know, they probably wouldn't cast me for hand stuff, you know. Sorry, that came out weird. It sounds like I'm like a hand model or something. I mean that, like, there definitely have been a few auditions I went into and I could feel the room was a little, oh, he has a hand tattoo. Okay, let's see how he is as a person, and let's see how he kind of acts and how good of an actor and stuff he is. But most of the things I audition for anyway are, if I go out for something and I know I have to cover my hand tattoo, I'm trained to put makeup not only on my hand, but any tattoos I need to cover. I don't care. I can do a very good job now. I'm very trained in that, and I can have help if I need the help throughout it. But most of these shows that I audition for are characters that I could wear gloves, or my hands or my arms or my tattoos would be covered. You know, like, there were mostly things that I felt like were not it wasn't like I was going out for Jesus Christ in like Jesus Christ Superstar, or, you know, I was going for a shirtless role. It was like I was going for something that I thought that I would have a lot of fun with and that I could do the roles. And even if I was going out for those roles, I still would anyway. Like the shirtless roles and stuff like that. But I would definitely lead in with like, hey everybody, just so that you know, I have tattoos, and they would obviously see it. I also don't go into auditions and like hide myself either. I'm not gonna hide my tattoos at this point. Also, it's way too fucking hot to do that. The one audition I went into, I wore a black like t-shirt and a nice short sleeve dress shirt over top, and I was still sweating like that, and I had shorts on and everything else. And to me, that shows I feel like you should go into an audition, yeah, a little bit formal, which I was, like, with a nice like open dress shirt and like shorts on and a black t-shirt. I feel like I did a pretty good job of showing not only me, but like I can be formal. And I hate when people go into an audition room and they're not themselves. Because the other thing that sucks is you might go, which is fine because it shows that they can play a character and stuff like that. But there's definitely been a few times where I've been in an audition and you think a person is a certain way because they dress up that way, and then you meet them in the audition, in the like rehearsal rooms, and you go, oh, they're a lot different than I thought they would be, because maybe for the audition they wore like this nice pink or purple dress and like were very makeup, which is fine if you're the complete opposite for whatever, but it does give a different demeanor if the person were to come in and not be all made up and to wear, you know, like sweatpants and like a tank top. You know, it gives you a different feeling. But I also do understand, I know now I'm going against myself, I also do understand the hey, be yourself, but also give us some formality. I don't even know if that's the right word there. But I hope everybody's doing well. I used to say that on all my videos too. Like, even if you guys can't necessarily answer back to me, I like to have these conversations because they're nice. It's almost like I didn't understand mukbangs. I think is how you pronounce them. Mukbang. I was trying to say either or. Some people do those videos. I never understood why people did them. Now they're kind of over eccentric with people now being over like 500, 600 pounds. I don't believe in that. But there was, I understand the point of, somebody said to me, mukbangs are more like you're having lunch with a friend and they're talking to you about their day or about, who they are, etc., blah, blah, blah. And that was like, oh, now I understand why people, I mean, not that I didn't understand why people enjoyed my live streams before. And that's another big thing too that I have to say. There are definitely some people who reached out to me after I stopped like streaming and posting videos for a bit. And they were like, oh, Jimmy, where'd you go? Like, we want you back, blah, blah, blah. And I'm one of those people too where if my person or my social media person doesn't post a video or a Twitch, I worry about them. But also it's like, hey, that was my thing that like I enjoy that you do. And now you're like kind of like, not that I feel selfish, but you're like, oh, well, that was something that I look forward to. And now you're kind of taking it away. And yeah, it happens here and there. But for me, it wasn't fair to me. Because it wasn't necessarily like stuff that I was having fun with and things that I was doing for myself. Like the drum streams were like what? I did like maybe 4 of them or 5 of them all together during the React time. But if I was to do those more often to get better, now I want to get better at my instruments. Now I don't even care. I'm going to first start off my whatever it is, like my stream or my videos and be like, yo, this is going to fucking suck. But watch you see me get better and transition and be better, and video quality and a whole bunch of stuff is going to get better. Like every time I record personal videos now, it's basically in 4K. And I have a great audio setup, my new computer setup. Like when I was reacting and when it kind of stopped around that time, I just bought this supercomputer, and it's kind of been like my whole setup in my studio has been kind of sitting here. And I want to like get techie. I want to like help people with things, but I want to help myself first. is the biggest thing. You don't want to put somebody else's life vest on first, or you don't want to put their oxygen tank on first before you even help yourself. Because then what's the point of you being there helping, etc. blah blah blah. There's a lot of that in life. You got to make sure that you're being for yourself before you help other people, genuinely. Because how can you help others if you're not helping yourself first? I full-heartedly believe that. You're also going to burn out your battery. You're going to burn out who you are as a person. What else can I talk about? I'm like staring at my phone. There's not much going on with my phone. I'm looking at my setups and stuff like that, and I don't get to say this often because I felt like it was cocky over the years, and now I don't care, and now it's more like, oh no, I understand. It's just being grateful. I'm very grateful for what I've accomplished and what I've done. And the reason why I get so upset is because I have all this stuff, or I have all this experience, and it just doesn't show through all the time, or like it's not as big as I would like it on social media at this point. And I go, oh, you just got to be better about putting it out there and not worrying about like sounding cocky, because most of the people, like, I have realized over the years, and I've gotten way better with this now, is back in the day, I would think when I would say something about myself, or to like tell a story, or to like I would think it almost sounds like I'm bragging, and I don't ever want it. I didn't ever want it to come off that way. Now I'm at a point where if I feel like I'm bragging, it's probably more people think that I'm just talking about myself, because you always think you're like one step lower or higher than you think you are. Another big thing is I had people who were afraid when I first started going, I don't care what people fucking think. I'm just going to be for myself and fuck other people. And they're like, well, Jimmy, don't do that. It's like, because they're seeing it as an extreme. And I'm seeing it as, hey, my extreme is still going to be somebody's mild. I'm not going to go 100 full percent and start punching people or killing people or whatever, you know. That's not like give my fuck it attitude. My give a fuck it attitude, my not give a fuck attitude is like one step higher or a couple steps higher to get to that point. And then when I have enough empathy in my life, trust me, I cry over the stupidest shit. I'm a sensey guy. I really feel for people. And I should be able to be myself, and I should be able to just talk and to do things and not have to worry, because it's my fucking life, you know? I shouldn't have to worry about other people when I'm just talking about myself. Oh, who am I offending by just being myself and to put things out there, you know? It's a weird, sometimes it's a weird life, and I've had conversations with my students and my workshop, whatever you want to call them, kids or co-workers, friends. Like, you gotta own up to your own shit, and you gotta be yourself. That's really what I think about a lot of this stuff. But yeah, look out for more Tears of the Kingdom. I promise it's just me playing the game and like not being able to, I'm still getting used to it, which is still so funny to me, but I'm still getting used to, like, I mean, trust me, I still talk a ton. This is me just like talking off the cuff, so I'm gonna be talking and talking and talking and talking. But for the game, to me it feels like there's pauses, but to you guys it probably feels fine. And I always say to myself, don't worry, I'm gonna like try and be more talkative and talk things out and blah blah blah. But I notice now that people don't really need you to talk the whole time. I want Overwatch Mondays to come back, or I want to play just more Overwatch in general. I want to play Baldur's Gate. I want to drum more again, and that's like the basis of where I want to start. If I want to do like a singing cover here and there, or if I want to do a full band cover, or if I want to do other things to like slowly progress myself back into getting all this stuff done, then hell yeah. But for now, I genuinely know, like, hey, an easy thing for you to do is to record a video game, have fun with it, edit it, and then post it. I know that I know that I can do that most days, if not every single day. And there may be some people, as I've noticed with these videos, and who even knows if they'll even hear this eventually, but I have noticed that there are some people who have unsubscribed from me since I deleted the React videos. I haven't been posting as much, which makes sense because people were here either for the reactions or because I was posting a lot, or X, Y, and Z. But to those of you who have stayed and actually want to be here for me and actually want to see a ton of great content, I promise you that no matter what, you're going to get every single thing from me, because I genuinely love that I can do so much, and I know that I can post as much as I want. I'm not only, you know, I'm Jimmy, and I have a bunch of stuff about me which I love, but I'm not just a performance artist. I'm not just a musician. I'm not just a few other things in my life. I'm not just a director, a music director, a conductor, a composer, etc., which I don't even show a lot of that stuff on this channel. I also love anime. I also love reacting to things. I also love techie things. I also love like singing covers. I also love getting to write my own music. Like, I want to be able to do all this stuff. I love photography. I love a bunch of different things in videography and podcasts. I want to get back to like podcasting. This is why I love talking so much. And I want to have like guests on and friends and stuff like that and see how it kind of goes with us. But we'll see about that. But trust me, there's a million things I want to do, and there's only so much in the day that I can do, and it's like, but I'm trying to do as best as I can, I promise. Always something going on. Always something going on. And even when it's not, my brain's still firing a mile a minute. And I guess I'll lightly touch on this for those who wanted to know about my mental health. And it just happens. Like, we have these days. It's nobody's fault. There have definitely been a few days where I've had depressy episodes. I've had like depression and stuff like that. I'm not clinically diagnosed. I think I definitely have strong OCD tendencies, but I've never been tested for anything. And I think that's where the quote unquote depression stems from. I haven't been tested, so I don't know if I actually have it. I don't take any medication or anything. I genuinely am a human being where I just run. I do what I need to do. I have fun when I can, and I do the stuff that I want to do and have fun with it. And that's the biggest thing too. I'm just trying to do what I want to do and relax. Like, don't feel like I need to be at a certain place or to be a certain person at a certain point. Like, other people will have their things, and I have things over other people that they don't necessarily have and wish they had at this point, you know? So I should be grateful. I should just be myself, have fun with it, and do what I need to do. Yeah. This is I did not know I was going to be able to talk for an hour, because I guess I haven't done it in a while. So, I mean, I know I could talk for an hour if I really needed to. I could literally talk about my phone for an hour and just sit here and look at my phone and look at all the apps and tell you why I picked this app and why it's here. You know, all those videos with like top 10 things you want to do with blah, blah, blah. I also want to do, that's another big thing I didn't even bring up, like D&D content. I want to do a little bit of that. I want to talk about different things. I don't think streaming with my table is something that's ever going to happen. I think that's more of a friendly game. It's not as professional. I mean, it could be professional eventually. Who knows? You never know with life. But maybe eventually in some time, in years to come, when they feel more connected and not like... they feel like they can express themselves throughout the game fully and stuff like that, which they already are. I mean... there's just a few things here and there that, like with Critical Role or anything else, that they wouldn't do. Like, they're not on their phones 24/7. And not that my players do that. They've been very, very good about that. It's just that they all have certain things that wouldn't be necessarily great for a game. And it's fine. That happens. But I've also been debating just meeting people online and finding professional, whether actors, voice actors, you know, performance artists, or cosplayers, etc., who have a very good setup, and I would basically hire them out for the sessions, or like meet up and be like, hey, this is what I want to do, and start a show and start a process from that point. I think it'd be really cool to do that. I think it'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end my talks here, because even though there's probably like another 10 minutes, right? Yeah, there's probably, or like another 5-ish minutes. So I'll talk for a little bit longer. Never mind. PC. No, I was about to say PC versus console. I actually like working with the PC more often. I am an Android. I mean, not an Android. Wow. I am a PC user over a Mac user. I do have a MacBook, but I barely use it. And I do have an iPad, but I mostly use that for like weird niche stuff that I don't really necessarily need to work the mainframe and the software as much. For my computers, though, I've always used... if I had a MacBook... I mean, if I had to use my MacBook, my laptop, all the frickin' time, I would obviously be better with it. That's another thing. I need to learn QLabs better. Because all these systems where people go, oh, we want you for QLabs and sound design and blah, blah, blah. It's like, I can sound design with any of my frickin' PC computers or my Ableton. Like, I'm using Ableton literally to record this, and I want to get more into voiceover. That's another thing that I miss a lot. Even though I wasn't really in the voiceover scene, I know that I could put on voices. I know that I can act and stuff like that. It'd be a lot of fun to jump into that scene and to have more fun with it and everything. And to write freaking... I need to do some covers first. I'm like, I want to write original music, but I need to find my voice again. I need to be where I need to be before I start posting stuff. Or maybe I'd just say fuck it and post whatever. But I will end my talks here, because I know I will go over now, because it's at 60 minutes. I can't tell exactly where the timer is. I think... let me see. If I were to do this... oh, this would tell me exactly. I'm at 60 minutes and 2 minutes. Okay, so I gotta end this in like a couple seconds. Thank you all so much if you watched this video, if you listen to my ramblings. This is kind of how I work for a podcast too, so you would obviously love it and enjoy it and all that type of stuff. When I have a topic to talk about, oh man, you see me go off for a bunch of stuff. But thank you all so much. I hope you liked this video. Again, if you're just skipping to the end because you missed things, the things I did in this session were I found the Spring of Wisdom, I opened up the Mount Lanayru Skyview Tower, I did all the shrines there. I got a Korok seed. I traded in my lights for hearts, 2 I believe, and opened up Upland Zoran Skyview Tower and did 2 shrines from there, the Mogawak and the John Yu. So next session I will be finishing up more of those Upland Zorna Skyview Tower shrines, and once the shrines are over, which might be soon, I don't know if I want to go. I think I might want to go all for the Korok seeds next, and then all the tiers next, etc. But I want to get as much as I can get done, and then hit that storyline running, because the first episode is gonna be like Tears of the Kingdom storyline full power. Like, I think that's where I'm gonna go next. But as always, my name is James Joseph Edward Jesberger Jr., but please call me Jimmy for short. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys for this. See you guys later. Peace.